just keep on chugging. The Blue Jays head back to Buffalo to start a 4-game set against the Orioles. And boy, oh boy, did they start it off on a good note. A 9-0 whomping of the Baltimore Orioles. And the Jays now improved to 38-35 on the year. They've now won 5 consecutive games. And the offense got going early. The story of this game early on, right, was Dean Kramer was on the mound. Last time we saw him, Simeon and Vladdy got home runs in the first inning. This guy is not a very good pitcher. So you're like, all right, well, everything, you'll be able to explode this guy in his last outing. The Jays don't get anything. That was the Manoah thing that happened. And you end up coming back and winning the ball game, but he goes like 6 really good innings. Well, the Blue Jays don't allow this guy to get out of the first. They don't even allow him to go get 2 outs in the inning. Dean Kramer was not very good today. And in the bottom half of the first inning, Teoscar Hernandez with the bases loaded and nobody out hits an RBI single to left field. Marcus Simeon comes in to score, putting the Jays on the board. It's 1-0 early. Then Randall Grichuk playing some small ball. He had 2 strikes on him, so what's he do? Shortens up, punches the ball to right field, ends up grounding out, but both runners from first and second move up. Run comes in to score, an RBI ground out for Grichuk, and you have guys at second and third with only 1 away. And Kevin Biggio walks, bringing up Lourdes Gurriel Jr., and he gets a ball on the inner half. It was kind of down and in, but he gets barreled the ball, and the question was, if it's fair, it's gone, and it stays fair, and it's a grand slam for Lourdes Gurriel Jr., the first of his career. Biggio, Teo, and Vladdy come in to score, and it's a 6-0 Blue Jays lead in the bottom half of the first inning, and Dean Kramer is gone. He goes a third of an inning, gives up 2 hits, 6 runs. He walks 5. The Blue Jays had a plan today. They saw him in the last outing, and it was about a week ago, or maybe less than a week ago. And they took it to him early, giving them a 6-0 lead. And that was huge because Anthony Kay was on the mound today. And I don't care that you're playing the Orioles. Anthony Kay really hasn't been all that great this year. So giving him that 6-0 lead before the second inning gives him lots of confidence moving forward. And then the Blue Jays in the bottom half of the second inning get an absolute moonshot bomb from Vladimir Guerrero Jr., homer number 24 on the year, leading the MLB, by the way, with that home run, and putting the Jays now up 7-0. Right? And Kay goes out there in the top half of the third, throws up another 0. The Jays get right back on their offense. Reese McGuire had another good day at the plate today, and he gets on, and Marcus Simeon then doubles down the third baseline. The left fielder has trouble with it in the corner. McGuire comes all the way around to score on the Simeon RBI double. The Jays lead it 8-0 in the bottom half of the third inning. And then Bo Bichette hits a ball to the right center gap, and it goes all the way to the wall. Simeon comes in. It's a 9-0 Jays lead in the bottom of the third. No more runs come across the score. At that point, it was more or less, all right, pitching and defense at this point when you're up 9-0. And that's exactly what happened. Anthony Kay gave you a really good start. The bullpen was very good. And you pulled off a 9-0 victory. I mean, that was it was great because you didn't have to use a Chatwood. You did not have to use a Tim Mazie. You didn't have to use a Jordan Romano. It was literally the perfect game for this team. Now, no George Springer in the game today. And nobody freak out. Nobody freak out that Springer didn't play because you got to realize he just came off the IL having not played with the big league club for, I don't know, at least a month. And he played back-to-back days in center field. They didn't get into Buffalo till 4 in the morning, obviously last night. So why would he play tonight in game 1 of the 4-game set? Now the question is, if he does not play tomorrow, then we start thinking, okay, what's wrong, right? But the way he looks on the bench, the way he looked in those first 2 games, he'll be back in the lineup tomorrow, no questions asked, and that just makes this lineup even more dangerous. So very good stuff, very good news on that front. But the story of the ball game today, the early offense, as I've preached about all year long, you give this pitching staff early runs, and 9-0 is not always what I expect, but you got a few runs here and there, and you gave your pitching staff a 9-0 lead. It was a low-stress game on Charlie. It was a low-stress game on the pitching staff, and you came out and got a W and used guys that you wouldn't use in high-leverage situations. Castro, Murphy, Jacob Barnes in his first outing as a Blue Jay, and Tyler Saucedo. Saucedo. There we go. Saucedo? I think it's Saucedo. I think I'm going to go with that one. And they got the job done. They didn't allow a run to come in to score, so that's always great news. Offensively, nothing really crazy performance-wise. Obviously, Vladdy had the home run. Gurriel had the 4 RBIs. But Teoscar Hernandez continues to hit the ball extremely well. He went 2 for 4 with a run, scored an RBI today. A big day at the plate for Teo. And Reese McGuire went 3 for 4 with a run scored today. Look, and people are going to say, well, you're playing the Orioles. Yes. I understand that. But I don't care who you're playing. If your number 9 hitter is getting on base and turning the lineup over to how good of a top of a lineup this is, it's a recipe for disaster in another team. And put it in perspective, Reese got on base 3 out of the 4 times he came to the plate. He came around to score. And the thing I love about it, he broke the shift a couple times. All 3? At least 2 of his hits were to the opposite field. So really good at bats from Reese McGuire today. Barreled balls up, and yeah, you can get a little lucky with the one blooper, of course. But when you're hitting well, when you're feeling good, you get those types of breaks. So great job for Reese McGuire going 3 for 4. He's hitting around that 320 mark on the year. Very small sample size, but hey, he's done a job with Danny Jansen on the shelf. So he's done a great job with Riley Adams. Offensively, not really giving you a whole lot. Reese McGuire stepped in and done an admirable job with the bat. Now, let's get to the pitching staff, because with all the offense we saw today, the pitching staff's going to get overlooked. But Anthony Kay was really good. That is, I think that right there was his 4th career big league win. He went 5 innings, allowed 5 hits, walked 2, and struck out 8. And if I'm not mistaken, at least 3 of those hits were bloopers or jam shots that found a way to fall. He had 8 strikeouts, and crazy stat today, Anthony Kay became the first Blue Jay ever to start a ball game with 7 consecutive strikeouts. Obviously, there were some hits in between, but the outs were all strikeouts in the first 2 innings and a third. So first Blue Jay ever to do that. It's crazy that it's Anthony Kay of all people, but he's got the stuff. I think that's what we're all seeing from Anthony Kay. He has the stuff. He's got a nice lively fastball, 95 to 97. He's got a nice sharp slider. His changeup's all right. But he's just got to locate the ball well. And today he was working the high part of the strike zone with the fastball, and that slider was down. When he can live there, he's going to be fine. You throw strikes with your fastball up in the zone, and you hit those down corners or even just a shade low on your slider, he'll be fine. And a game like today was great for Anthony Kay. Picks up the victory, 5 innings with 8 strikeouts and no runs given up. So a great job for Anthony Kay. Maybe a sign of things to come. Obviously, Steven Matz will be back in this spot. Next time through the rotation, the COVID protocol is up for him. He's just got to build himself back up now. But he'll be ready for his next outing next week. And Anthony Castro had a clean inning of work. No hits, no walks, no strikeouts. Just a clean job for Castro. And Patrick Murphy gave a leadoff double in his inning of work, but found a way to work around it. Allowed the 1 hit, got a strikeout. No runs across for him, so a good job for Patrick Murphy. And Jacob Barnes, in his first outing as a Toronto Blue Jay, allowed 1 hit, 1 walk, but no runs came across the score, and that is the main thing. And Tyler Saucedo went an inning, no hits, no walks, and a strikeout. And look, Saucedo's got a really wonky delivery. And from the left side, that can play. The question is, can he consistently throw strikes? And I think that's the thing that we're going to continue to look at when it comes to him. You can never have too many lefties out of the bullpen. Tim Mays has been great lately. But the question is, you trust, he's your only lefty right now. He's your only lefty, and you want to have that second one. Is Tyler Saucedo that guy? I don't know, but he was good today against the Baltimore Orioles, and that's all there is to it. Game 2 of the 4-game set against the Orioles goes tomorrow night. It's a 7:07 first pitch. Matt Harvey versus, I believe, Alek Manoah, because he appealed the suspension, so I'm guessing he's able to play. I don't know. We'll have to see. That might be changed and whatnot, but that's what it's written as right now, so we'll go with that. Game 2 of the 4-game set against the Orioles. And Jays fans, this series, these next 2 series, let's say, right? You have the Orioles and you have the Mariners. The Mariners aren't a great team. They are on a good stretch, but if you look at the stats and their team stats over the course of the year, they're not a very good baseball team. And a really good stretch lately, but they're going to come back down to earth fast, and they already lost their 1 game. They might spiral. I don't know. But coming into today's game, the Jays were 5.5 out of a wild card spot and 6 out of a divisional spot. The first place in the AL East. The Rays are playing the Red Sox right now. And the Red Sox, through the weekend series, are playing the Yankees. So someone's got to lose tonight with the Red Sox and the Rays. And then through the weekend set between the Red Sox and Yankees, someone's got to lose. So the Jays, if they can continue to win against Baltimore, against Seattle, you might be able to really climb back into this if you continue to win ball games. But what we can do as Jays fans is take it one game at a time. And today, it's a very good start. Obviously, the Jays have won 5 consecutive games, and they're beating teams that they should beat. And that's what good teams do. They don't drop down to the level of the opponent and get the rear end kicked in. No, they play the same way every day, and they put up the W's against teams that they should beat. The Orioles have now lost 20 straight road games. So if that's any indication how the series is going to go, I'm very excited. But one game at a time. You got a great start from Anthony Kay. You crushed Dean Kramer, a guy that did a pretty good job against you in the last outing. So that's great news. Tomorrow, Matt Harvey was good through 3 or 4 innings against the Blue Jays in his last outing, but then imploded in his final one. Hopefully, the Jays can get to him early if Alek Manoah is the one pitching tomorrow. Hopefully, he can deal. And I think I mentioned in a video, or was the Instagram Live that I mentioned it. Alek Manoah's numbers against good teams and the 1 through 4 hitters in the lineup, whether it's a good or bad team, he's dominated them. Flat out dominated. But 5 through 9 and the Marlins and the Orioles, the on-base percentage of those teams are... It's like he dials in with the good hitters at the plate, but when the other guys come up, you look at the Orioles, you got the Pedro Severinos and the Vallecas and guys like that, his mind must travel, and he's just trying to throw strikes. They're not very good. And those are the guys that do the damage because he's just giving them a lot of pitches to hit. So I'm very intrigued, if Alek Manoah is pitching tomorrow, how he attacks every single hitter in the Orioles lineup. All right? So you know what, guys? That is going to do it for this one. If you enjoyed the video and enjoyed the victory for the Toronto Blue Jays tonight, a 9-0 shutout, you can't go wrong with that. Smack the like button to appreciate that. Hit the subscribe button if you guys are not already. Comment down below your thoughts on the video, your thoughts on the game. What'd you like? What'd you not like from today's ball game for the Toronto Blue Jays? And I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Game 2 of the 4-game set against the O's. Matt Harvey, Alek Manoah, question mark. I don't know why I did quotes. Question mark. I'm assuming it's going to be him. 7:07 first pitch there at Salem Fields. The Blue Jays look to win their 6th consecutive game, win the first 2 games of this series, and just be on their way to just keep chugging, keep going, keep going. All right? So thank you guys so much for listening and watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. We'll talk to you guys then.